What's your best non-swearing insult? It only really works if somebody else starts it. But my personal favorite is no jow, no matter what they throw at you. You always have something to say. You're probably 12 kids tfuno will mostly use it in game chat. And one time I got someone so frustrated that they could not top me that they rage quit. U/water guy 12. Straight from Shakespeare, I wish we could become better strangers. My favorite from Shakespeare, I would challenge you to a battle of wits. But I see you are unarmed. Adapted from Bob Dylan's Positively 4th Street. I wish that for a moment you could stand in my shoes. Then you'd know what a drag it is to see you. Idiot wind. Blowing every time you move your mouth. I had a teacher tell some kid nothing you have to say is of any consequence to anyone. He was an odd teacher who kinda talked like that. But it was his version of savage. The room lost its shit in unison. I take it, you weren't burdened with an overabundance of schooling stolen from Firefly. My days of not taking you seriously are certainly coming to a middle. Apostrophe. Totally my favorite bit of Jane related Firefly. Actually it's a tie with, do you know what the chain of command is? I'm a nurse at a small surgery center. Long story short, I got into a fight with a coworker when I felt her laziness put a patient at risk. And told her, I hope you get a nurse just like you one of these days. I don't know if this qualifies here, but adopted kids can always make a comeback with this line. At least my parent chose me, yours are stuck with you. Apostrophe. I've actually used this in a good way with my own kid. When my stepdaughter was about 7. One day at dinner she said she felt bad because if her mom and I had any other kids they would have my germs, DNA, and she wouldn't. I said, that may be true, but never forget that I chose you. I'll just be stuck with the others. Have mentioned that a couple times since whenever it comes up, always seems to make her smile. My favorite is a George Orwell quote about Stanley Baldwin that I just saw yesterday on Cracked. I think he is simply a hole in the air. Honorable mention. You still read Cracked in 2017. Apostrophe. If drunk. Churchill's one is pretty good. In the morning I shall be sober. But you will still be ugly. Another great Churchill. Mr. Adley is a very modest man. Indeed he has a lot to be modest about. George Bernard Shaw once told Winston Churchill, I'm enclosing 2 tickets to the first night of my new play. Bring a friend. If you have one. Churchill replied, cannot possibly attend first night, will attend second. If there is one. Apostrophe. You're not pretty enough to be that dumb. Oh, that's a good one. I need it for a male. Though. Will you're not handsome enough to be that dumb. Work. Map. Done. Said to an identical twin in high school, your sister is ugly. I once told one twin. Both were there at the time. Wait, you're the smart one? I thought she was. They were both rather upset with me after that. Edit. Just thought I'd clarify, these 2 twins were my cousins. They were not upset with me for very long. Nor were they extremely upset. We are all still all on good terms. And they joke about it with one another from time to time. I would have been your dad, but your mum didn't have change for 5. I always heard it as, I would have been your father, but the dog beat me up the stairs. I never hear real people say this. I first heard it as the rare dialogue from Sergeant Johnson to an elite in Halo. Said, I would have been your daddy, but it looks like the dog beat me over the fence. Also the origin of the IWHBYD dialogue altering skull in later Halo games. Husband had one he was proud of as a teen. Someone says, well excuse me, sarcastically. He replied, the only excuse for you is an apology letter from Trojan. Apostrophe. When my friend and I were about 5 years old, I was being a twat and sitting at the top of the slide just so he couldn't use it. In a fit of unbridled fury he screamed, you slimy salamander. Both our moms were watching from the porch and were applauding at such a moving performance. Neither of remember it happening, but we call each other slimy salamanders from time to time. Well, bless your heart. Apostrophe. In the South, this is the best phrase to politely call someone an imbecile. with a suppin of get stuffed. Imagine it's the shortened part of bless your heart, because the rest of you can't be saved. It says a lot about the speaker as well. Callous. Self-righteous. Possibly now voreish. I moved to Tulsa from the Northeast and Los Angeles. I have learned the horrifying assertive power of that term. I would rather get cursed out with Felch Goblin than be told that. I know verbal communication has concluded. I hope your day is as pleasant as you are. You are 2 letters short of an asset. You couldn't pour water out of a boot if the instructions were on the heel. I've been called a lot worse by a lot better. The only culture you possess is bacteria. You wouldn't know the difference between a headache and an idea. I wouldn't follow you out of a burning building. I know 5 fat people and you're 3 of them. If you were enema in bread, you'd be a sandwich. I believe I read it on a post similar to this a while ago, so I can't give proper credit. I use it all the time with my friends and they love it. I stole this from Kyle on the Expanded Perspectives podcast. Just do a visual thumbs down. Works especially well out of the car window when someone does something stupid. Much classier than the middle finger. I've been doing this for years. I don't flip people off because I always thought it was poor taste, so instead I just go thumbs down. Driving and someone cuts you off. Thumbs down. You haven't done anything crass, but have still let them know you're displeased with how they're doing things. A lot of the time people will lower their heads and meekly wave. It's a good feeling. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. You should find the tree that is producing the oxygen that allows you to live and apologize to it. You're more useless than Anne Frank's drum set or Helen Keller's binoculars. You're as dumb as a mule and twice as ugly. Homer Simpson's dad tells him this before Homer's first day of school. You great supine protoplasmic invertebrate jealous Boris Johnson. My friend had a good one with his girlfriend, now ex, when she would get upset with something. And it was, remember when you used to be happy and laugh at things? I just pull a Gordon Ramsay and call people an incompetent muppet. Rude nonetheless. But I have seen a t-shirt that read I'd kick you in the vagina, but I'm afraid I'd lose my shoe. For the record, it was at Download Festival when I had to get some new cheap clothes there when all of mine was soaked. I instead went for Stop Picturing Me Naked, and, despite being a man, nobody knows I'm a lesbian. Stop trying to be smart, mate. It really doesn't suit you. Also, bless your heart or oh, honey, no, said with a sigh. Work like a charm. Oxygen thief. There is some folks that there is no better nomenclature than that to describe them and their state of being in this world and on the mortal coil. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.